YouTube, what's going on? It's your boy Trix. I have another farming deck coming your way. This time it's going to be for a level 40 Bandit Keith. Let's take a look at the deck, shall we? Okay, so let's talk about skills, then we'll talk about key cards, then we'll talk about replacements. Duel Standby and Restart I find are the best skills you can use to farm Bandit Keith. Key cards are Acid Rain, have 3 copies. Even better if all 3 are glossy like mine for more assessment points. 3 Magnetic Mosquito, I highly recommend having 3 copies of it in the deck. If you have Electromagnetic Bagworm, put 3 in the deck. This completely shuts down Bandit Keith quite a bit from what I found for farming him. Its effect is actually really good against Bandit Keith, so because all his monsters are machine type, basically if he attacks into Electromagnetic Bagworm, it flips face up. Even if it gets destroyed, you can take control of his machine type monster until your end phase. So it's a very good effect. I highly recommend using it. 3 copies, of course, for consistency. Now this whole deck is based around Chaos Command Magician. So Twin Barrel Dragon's effect, as well as Blowback Dragon, the effect gets negated basically by Chaos Command Magician. So even if he targets it, it'll just negate the effect, so they don't work. Essentially, when you get Chaos Command Magician out on the field, the farm is essentially done after that. You don't have to really do much other than keep destroying his monsters. So let's talk about replacements. Hunter with the 7 weapons is a 2k beater against Bandit Keith. All you have to do is declare machine type, and it'll be a 2k beater. I'll just show you another card you can use. I don't use it clearly in this deck, but Leotar is another. It's a 2k beater against non-normal monsters, so you can use that one as well. I just choose not to use it because I have 3 copies of everything else, but if you don't have 3 copies, clearly just mix and match and see what you can add or take out for consistency. But what I found, this deck is actually really consistent as it is. Another replacement is Divine Wrath. If you have 1 copy, use 1 copy. If you have 0 copies, use 0 copies. Ultimate Providence does the same thing. Because this deck is chock full of effect monsters, we can just discard one of them, and it has the same effect as Divine Wrath. So whatever is more convenient for you. I put 1 copy of it in clearly because I have 2 copies of Divine Wrath, as well as that it's glossy. So the reason why I'm trying to stress glossies to you guys is because the complete base farm for this deck is 7,800. Now there's 2 ways you can get over 8k. The first way that I recommend is having to use 2 glossy cards, which isn't much. You should be able to fit them in somewhere. And another way is by getting your life points lower than Bandit Keith's, which will give you 500 extra assessment points. But I don't recommend doing that because the chances of him getting lethal after he attacks is actually pretty high. So let's just jump into a duel. I'll just show you how the deck works. Another thing I want to mention is that using Chaos Command Magician to farm Bandit Keith actually came from a friend of mine on Twitter. His name is Ruxton34. I'm going to leave a link in the description down below to his YouTube channel. You guys go check him out. He has a Bandit Keith farming video as well.
Duel.
Okay, so we have 2 Acid Rains, Magnetic Mosquito, and Divine Wrath. That's pretty good. And there's the Chaos Command Magician. Let's just use an Acid Rain. Clear the field, because why not? And we have an Acid Rain in hand, so even if he did get out a Twin Barrel, we could just activate Divine Wrath. And it wouldn't have been too much of a big deal. I would have preferred that, but it's not a problem. We have other cards in the deck to deal with most situations. I'm surprised he hasn't popped a twin barrel, to be honest, because usually he does by now. But don't give up yet. The farm isn't done completely. We still have cards that can deal with him summoning a monster, so it's not a big deal. We'll draw into something that we need eventually. We'll just pop a Divine Wrath, even though we could have used Acid Rain, but why not use both? So we have all Chaos Command Magicians in our hand. Not ideal, but like I said, the farm still isn't over yet. I've seen people give up on farms just because the cards don't go their way right away. Don't be like that. Just because you don't have the card right away doesn't mean you won't pick it up, right? Okay, so he's going to use that. Good thing we had a Divine Wrath. We'll just discard a Chaos. Take it out. Not a problem. And there you go. So we got our Chaos Command Magician. Usually it does not take that long to get it out. But you can't really predict how farms are going to go. I'll just summon Hunter with the 7 weapons anyway. We'll go with Machine. So now it's a 2k beater. And now we can get out the second Chaos Command Magician. Keep that in mind, you need both on the field to hit over 10,000 damage on your final turn with Gravekeeper's Vassal. But of course the third copy's in there for consistency, right? That's what we always aim for. Alright, we'll just keep destroying his monsters at this point. There's our other Bagworm. Took it long enough for it to pop up. And there's the other one. Look at that, RNG, right? Always works with you. Alright, let's take out his last monster. And we're coming on the last turn. Pick up another Acid Rain. So I'm sure you guys all know what to do at this point. You summon Gravekeeper's Vassal. Double Union attack. I'm just going to turn that off because if you leave Ultimate Providence on with your toggle button like that, it'll keep asking you to negate it. I don't know why it does that. It shouldn't ask you to negate your own cards, but it does. And then we're going to hit him with 10,300. There we go. And that's how you farm Bandit Keith. Like I stated before, this is a very consistent deck. I went 7 for 10, meaning I won 7 duels and I lost 3. The only time that you have a losing condition against Bandit Keith is if he gets a double coin toss with a twin barrel dragon off the bat. That can cause a lot of problems, but like I said, don't give up on the duel right away just because you don't have the cards in your hand. Like I just showed you, you can still pull it back. So I've seen people unfortunately give up on the farm before. Don't do that because you can, like, especially with this deck against Bandit Keith, you can pull it back, right? There's so many cards that work against him that generally you'll still be able to get the farm off. But anyway, that's it for today, guys. I really hope you guys enjoyed farming. Gonna enjoy farming Bandit Keith with this deck. Like I said, from personal experience, he can be really annoying, but this deck really shuts him down in a lot of ways. So if this helped you out, please hit that like button and subscribe for more videos coming your way from yours truly. And I hope you guys all have a fantastic day, and we'll see you in the next video.